The darkness continues.
Peace, folk, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Now I'm back with another, and the darkness does continue. I'm bringing you, good folk, an update on the Shanquella Robinson case. As promised, by now everybody knows Shanquella Robinson was the 25-year-old woman who ended up mysteriously dead while on a trip with quote-unquote friends. I want to bring y'all the latest of what we know here on the ground in the Queen City. Now, there's been some reports of an arrest of this person here, Dejanay Jackson, being arrested. I'm here to tell y'all now that those reports have been false. You've heard people speak of Interpol coming to arrest someone, which is totally ridiculous, because if anyone knows anything about Interpol, they know that Interpol does not arrest anybody. But let's talk about Interpol and what they do. Interpol is the International Criminal Police Organization. All right. Interpol is more of an administrative arm of law enforcement. What it does is it pretty much facilitates worldwide police cooperation and crime control. It collects data throughout different regions and throughout different countries. It's a large international police organization, and it has bureaus, worldwide. It's basically a central bureau, all right, that works between other law enforcement agencies. It is not a quote unquote enforcement arm of the police, all right. Interpol would not be coming to arrest anyone. I repeat, Interpol would not be coming to arrest anyone. So anyone that's telling you that Interpol agents is showing up and arresting someone, they're lying, even if they don't know that they're lying. All right? Because Interpol, all it does is facilitate cooperation amongst national law enforcement institutions. All right? They connect criminal databases and communications and things like that. Now, contrary to belief and the stuff you see on spy movies, Interpol itself is not a law enforcement agency. And if you Negroes don't believe it, go and Google it. No matter what you do in what country, you're not going to see people show up at your door with windbreakers on with Interpol on the back of it coming to arrest you. That's not how this works. So you might want to stop listening to people talking about Interpol is coming to arrest some damn body. All right? Let's just start there. Now, with that being said, there is a good chance that this crime could be prosecuted in the United States, depending on the circumstances, depending on what the statutes and communications are between Mexico and the United States. So let's listen to WCNC, which is a news operation right here in the Queen City. Let's listen to what they say about verifying whether or not this crime could be possibly prosecuted in the United States. Let's go. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
For an arrest to be made for the death of Shanquella Robinson, some are wondering if the United States would be able to prosecute the case, even though Robinson's death happened in Mexico. Wake Up Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies.
This is a question a lot of people have been asking because when there is a crime, charges are normally brought in the jurisdiction where that crime occurred. But what if it happened overseas, but it involves two Americans? So the question, if a crime happened in a different country, can the United States still prosecute? Let's verify.
Pay attention, Negroes. Pay attention.
Our source is Gary Monty, attorney and partner at Monty PLLC in the United States Code of Federal Regulations, or CFR. This is the United States Code we will be examining. It states a person being a national of the United States kills or attempts to kill a national of the United States while such a national is outside the United States but within the jurisdiction of another country shall be punished.
The statute expressly empowers our federal government to arrest and prosecute American citizens that have been involved in the murder of another American citizen overseas.
So by just looking at the statute, we can verify that, yes, it is possible for the United States to prosecute even if a crime happened in another country, but only if it's a crime involving Americans.
See, so it is possible. It is possible that they may be able to prosecute the crime here. It's possible, but we continue.
However, there are some hoops to jump through in order to do this.
There's got to be written approval of the United States Attorney General. And so it has to be looked at and approved by the Department of Justice.
That's the first hoop. The second, Monty says, the United States can't prosecute a crime if the same charge has already been adjudicated in a country that has jurisdiction.
Now, if Mexico does what they do first, then the United States cannot do anything. If it's been adjudicated already in Mexico, the United States will not be able to do anything. So don't listen to the reports about everybody's been talking about how the United States is going to do this and that. No. I mean, there's a few nuances and twists and turns that have to take place to make the United States able to prosecute this crime here. It all depends on what Mexico does, and there has to be a written agreement between both countries and their attorney generals before the United States can do something about this crime, before they can prosecute it. Because I've heard some reports talking about the United States is going to prosecute this case too. Yes, it's possible. All right, it is possible, but the United States cannot do anything unless they get some type of written agreement with the country where the crime took place. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
If the foreign country has already prosecuted someone for the same conduct and the same type of crime, then the statute would not allow the United States to prosecute the individual again.
However, the United States could prosecute for other crimes associated with the main offense.
Yes, like if they conspired before they went there, if it was a plan before they went there, if they went ahead and said, well, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to Shanquella Robinson, if they made that plan before they went to Mexico, even though the killing itself is the main offense, the United States could still prosecute them on the planning, the plotting, the conspiracy. All right? All right, then. Let's get back at it with WCNC. Like I said, the local news station here in Charlotte. This is big news here. So if there was really something going on with this case, we would know about it here and it would be in the news. And there's been nothing. So let's go ahead and get this fact check out the way. As you can see here, it says fact check, articles claim arrest made in Shanquella Robinson murder case. Now, officials have issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip, but some articles are stating that the person has already been arrested. All right, you see a picture of Lady Shanquella here. Says here, Charlotte, North Carolina, as Shanquella Robinson's family continues to search for answers in the death of their daughter, some are claiming a suspect has been arrested in the case. The 25-year-old Charlotte woman mysteriously died while on vacation with a group of quote-unquote friends in Mexico. Officials have issued an arrest warrant for one on the trip, but some articles are stating that a person has been arrested. These articles claim that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, when some reports and shares claims that are not verified. That's how misinformation gets spread. Now, we're always on here talking about misinformation, and we're up here spreading it because we don't know what the hell we're talking about. First, the headline suggests Dejanay Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect. I repeat, Mexican authorities have not officially named a suspect. Negroes. But it continues. They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. As I told y'all earlier, Interpol doesn't arrest anyone, but I will read it anyway. It says here, so what is Interpol? According to the U.S. Justice Department, Interpol is the International Criminal Police Organization that provides investigative support and secure communications between law enforcement and authorities. However, the Justice Department says Interpol does not have its own law enforcement agents. Interpol does not arrest anyone, Negroes. But it continues. The article also states the arrest was made on November 28th. However, it does not give a time. It does not reveal exactly where Jackson was supposedly arrested or where she was booked in the United States. When someone is arrested, they are usually booked into a detention facility, and that information is generally public and available for reports to refer to in their stories. Because that is public information, the news can get their hands on your mugshot, your charges, all of that kind of stuff, your criminal complaint. They can get it like the same day it happens. And they would have it if it had happened, and you have not seen it, except the made-up stuff that's on the media by Negroes. But it continues. WCNC spoke with Shanquella Robinson's father. He tells us he has not been made aware of any arrests yet. The FBI also said this is an active and ongoing investigation. So we want to remind you to double check what you see online and social media. Of course, if and when an arrest is made and we can confirm it, we will send you an alert. So, that being said, don't get tied up in all this gobbledygook and foolishness that you see online about what's going on. Because a lot of these people are just talking. They're not in the Queen City. They're not. We are. And like I said, this is big news here. This is the talk of the day. Not a day goes by that this case does not get discussed here. And if something had happened and something had moved on this case, it would be known here. But nothing has happened. Nothing has moved. People are just making things up, folk. That's it. That's what they're doing. Just making things up. You know. Like Negroes always do. Now you see all of these articles here, right? Where it says Dejanay Jackson arrested for the beating death of Shanquella Robinson. Dejanay Jackson arrested. Who is Dejanay Jackson? Even here, Madame Noir says Dejanay Jackson finally arrested in connection with Shanquella Robinson's death. But when you click on it, that's embarrassing. There doesn't seem to be anything here. Check out these instead. And y'all know what it means, that 404, right? When you see 404, you know what that means. But if you click back, 2 days ago, this was the headline. So 2 days ago, there was a story here, but they had to freaking pull it because they put it up before they found out whether or not it was true. They didn't verify it. That's why you must verify before you lie. So, there you have it, folks. I mean, that's all the stuff. That's the updates as it stands today. Nothing has really moved in this case. You know, in the last week or two, there hasn't been too much going on in the case. From what I understand, the FBI and the other investigative agencies haven't even given any new information to her mother or her father. So don't believe all these reports, man, because a lot of these people are just talking. They have no idea what they're talking about. This is big news in the Queen City, man, and we're here. All right, we're in Mecklenburg. So if something was going down with it, everybody in Mecklenburg would know about it, man, because like I said, this is big news here. It's a big story here. It's the talk of the day. So I know a lot of people, you know, they want to get on here and tell you this happened, that happened. No, man, nothing has moved in this case as of yet. As of yet, nothing has really moved. And when it does, we will try to bring it to you and let you know. Now, there are some quote unquote news outlets / magazines / reading rags that are out there saying, you know, this happened and that happened over the past couple of days. And they have had to retract their stories because it was false based off of something else. So don't be so quick, man, to believe none of this crap, man. You know, don't be so quick to believe it. And like I said, you know, if something new comes through, man, we will try to bring it to you. All right. But that's all. I want to say I appreciate you good folks for coming through, man, and spending your time here because you could have spent it anywhere. And it is appreciated. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. So with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. With another.
The darkness continues.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your minds.